Hello, everybody. Felicia here, and I am back with another layout for the Ali Edwards Story Stamp and Story Kit set. So this story is of hope. There was a lot going on this year, and it was a lot going on for pretty much everyone around the world. And I just wanted to put this story together to show how much and what we all been through, and how a lot of us came out on the end knowing a little bit more about ourselves. And so this is very important because we were in, I would say, I wouldn't even, well, yeah, I would call it that, a rat race. And so what I decided to do was kind of put down and document some of the stuff that we went through. Now, this particular layout here that I'm using is with the Hope that I'm doing is with the Hope Story Kit. And I'm just going to be using the kit itself and some of the cards from out of it, and the acrylic word. I'm going to be putting that across the top here. So, and I'm also going to be doing some hidden journaling on this one because it is a very deeply rooted story that I'm telling here. And although I wanted to elaborate a little bit more, I decided to keep it a little bit short and do some hidden journaling, and you'll see how I put that together. So I'm going to be doing that right now, as you can see there. So what I did was I measured that, and then I cut it because that is going to be a little bit bigger than the 3x4 card there, as you can see, because I wanted the 3x4 card to be a decoration for the layout. So I went to go get some red washi tape. I have some solid color washi tape due to the fact that this is such a beautiful color pattern paper, which I really like. And I've been kind of hoarding this one and kind of holding on to because I love bright colors and things like that. And so I am deciding to go ahead and cut it up finally and use it. And the rest of it I kept for anything that might come up later on. But I decided to go ahead and do that and use it for this layout. So as you can see right there, it folds over, and then I'm going to be putting the 3x4 card on the front there, but I'm also going to be using that as part of the hidden journaling as well. So what I did is I'm getting some more of that solid red washi tape, and I'm going to be putting it across the top there, and then I'm also going to be putting it underneath, and that creates a great flip card there. So this is another thing that you can do with your 3x4 cards, is you can make hidden journaling behind them as well. So even if you put them on a straight layout without having the second part like I have for hidden journaling, then you could just make it a hidden journaling spot as well. And that's for those of you who don't want your journaling to be seen on your layouts, or if you just want to have something interactive on your layout. So what I did was, there was a 3x4 card here in the Hope kit, in the Hope Story Kit, and it had these little pieces here, and they were all on one card. So what I decided to do, it wasn't 3x4, I'm sorry, it was 4x6, was I decided to cut up that 4x6 and pull all these little cards out and make them part of the decoration here on the layout. And I rounded the corners with a corner rounder, because when you cut them out, they come out straight. So what I did was I took a corner rounder. I have a 3/8 corner rounder, and I just used that to gently round the corners of these little cutouts that I did from that 4x6 card. And so that's what I did with that, and that's where those came from. So they don't actually come in the kit themselves. They come on a 4x6 card in the kit, so it's all together. And I was thinking of putting that felt the good stuff up there, but I'll think about that. It's going to sit there for a minute until I figure out if I like it or not. So now I got my hidden journaling down. I think I already put it down, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and put this part of the layout down because this is the main part of it, and I'm putting it in such a way, oh no, I didn't put the journaling on it yet. So I'm putting it in such a way to where it could be flipped and it'll still fit in the 8.5 by 11 sleeve that it's going to go into. So, and then I had a little extra there, so because I didn't want it to be off the edge on the other end, because I didn't want to cut the other end, so I made sure that it was a little bit more so that I can have it flushed there on both sides of the layout. And then I'm going to be putting the photo right there. And that photo was just me fooling around in my study room. And it was after finals. I was feeling good. I was feeling much better. All the stress had left once I pushed that button for that last final. So I was pretty excited here. And I just thought it just kind of showed, this photo says a lot to me. It says, I'm tired. I'm done. I'm glad I'm done. I think I did well. I've been through a lot this year, as we all have. And I just want to write a little bit about some of the stuff that I've endured for the year of 2020. So that's exactly what this photo says to me. And so I decided to use that on this layout to actually talk about the word hope. And I know a lot of us are hoping that 2021 will be better, because I am. I really am. Oh my goodness. So that is why I chose this photo, because it does just kind of, explain that. It kind of looks like, okay, I'm tired, I'm done. I just hope that the next year is better. That's pretty much what that is saying. And I also use the same photo for my One Little Word album. If you haven't seen that flip through yet, it's here on my channel as well. So now I'm kind of staggering the cards because I don't want it to be straight up and down. I kind of want it to be off there so I can cut off the excess on the edge. And because I like sometimes some stuff hanging off the edge, I think it looks kind of cool. And I'm going to be using the chipboards that was in the story kit as well to put on there, just to add a little bit more element and give it a little bit more, just a little bit more decoration. That's it. There's no real rhyme or reason. I just thought I'd just put it on there. And once I get those on there, my first thought was to write and journal in those spots, but I chose not to. I chose to just pretty much do something else, and you're gonna see what I do once I get everything down. And I tried to put that back on there again. I was like, no, it's not looking right. Something wasn't right about it, so I decided not to use it. I did use the hope. I did put that on there. I did glue that down. So, but I'm not sure as to what I wanted to do with that. So I let it sit there for a minute, because that's what I do. I want to see if it's going to rub off on me. I don't know if there's a such thing as a rub off, but yeah. So that right there that I'm gluing down is the second part of the journaling. So that is the end of it, the second part, the half of it. And then I also put down on that little strip right there when I wrote it, because I always forget the dates sometimes, so I had to put the dates down there. And so right here that I'm gluing down on that first flip part of the card is the first part of the journaling, and it goes right underneath, and it fit perfect. I almost didn't make it, but it fit perfect, and there it is. So now I have that down. So what I want to do is grab some tabs. I have some tabs already cut out or punched out in my stash, and I'm going to be putting those tabs on there. And I'm just going to write the word lift, because that'll remind me to lift it, or anybody who sees it or looks at it or wants to read it will also lift it. So I'm going to be putting it on the 3x4 card and the other section that lifts over to show the second part of the journaling. But look what I do. I almost put it on the bottom one. I was like, oh crap, I need to put it on that. And so put it on there, right? So I write the word lift, and I wrote that down there. And then guess what I do? I put the tape on here, and you're going to see me make a rookie mistake. I was like, no, I put it on there again. I don't know what I was thinking, but I put it back on there again, and I'm like, and I didn't even think about it. And I was like, I get it on there, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I go, oh, wait a minute. I tell you, that is a straight rookie mistake. I kid you not. I don't know why I did that. I think it's hilarious though, because I'm like, what am I thinking? So then it still had the adhesive on it. So I was like, well, shoot, I need to put this on here. And then, but if you look closely, I didn't flip it over. So I was like, oh crap. And I ended up writing lift on there. I was like, you know what? Let me hurry up and get done with this layout, because I'm starting to get irritated with myself. And that's exactly what I was thinking at the time. I'm like, oh man. So I'm going to be putting another tab on there, because the original idea was to put both tabs on there. And but yeah, it was this, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, dang, it was like lift. So I did put that on there, right? And as you can see that, and I left him, and I kept him white. So now you can see, you can see the journaling there. And I thought this was a really cool idea. It really did turn out to be one of the best ideas of me putting on a layout in a long time. I'm still trying to get myself back into this swing of doing my crafting here, because I have been absent from it for a while due to trying to study and everything. So there you go. I put down the hope word there, and it is nice and sturdy, and it is not going anywhere with that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut off the little excess on the edges. I'm going to go around and do all of that. And I'm taking so what I decided to do, the Hope Kit comes with some stickers with sentences and words and stuff on it. And what I decided to do was go ahead and look through that and then pull out what I thought would be good to put on each one of those little journaling pieces that I have there. And you can see that I was like, okay, cool, this is good. And so my thought was, okay, should I write on there? Should I not? You know, I was like standing there going, nah, let me go ahead and find those stickers. And so there they go, right there. So I decided to go ahead and put those on there. That comes in the story kit as well. And some of them I had to cut off so they could fit, like that one, and, you know, and but I was able to get quite a few on each one of these little journaling spaces, I should say, that coincides with the layout. And I like the idea, so that gave me some thought as to do it again. I'm going to probably do something like this again in the future with my layouts, because I think this turned out nice, and I like the way it looked once I was done getting everything on there, on the layout there. What I like the most, though, about a lot of these story kits is that they come with alphas or words or phrases. And this one comes with words and phrases here on the sticker sheet there. And I like that you can go through and pick out something that speaks to you, you know, at the time when you're doing the layout. And then you can just save the rest for another layout at any time. But I usually go through those things and I look at what speaks to me and what would be good for this layout. And then I just put them on there. I did that a lot throughout my my one little word album. I put a lot of those on there from different sticker sheets that I have accumulated over the years, and I used some of them from the one little word kit that came for 2020 last year. So I did that in my album as well. And I like doing this because this was good, because everything that I put on there pretty much in those little journaling spots worked out perfect. So that was one of the good things that I liked about that sticker sheet. And you can see I'm filling that puppy up, boy. I look at it, filling all that space up, because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many on here I want to say. So I got them all done. I got my journaling done and everything, and I have everything worked out. So now I'm going to add a little bit more element, and I'm going to use some of the, I still have this stuff. I don't know how I still have this stuff, but I have some Studio Calico white spray there, and I'm going to be using that to put that on the layout as well. I'm sorry about that. That was my phone, so I had to shut it off. So I sprinkled that, and then I figured out, you know, that's not enough. So let me go ahead and figure out what else I want to do. And then what I end up doing is using an acrylic, I say like a marker, paint marker type of deal thing. And I end up putting more decoration on there as well. So right now you see me wiping off the acrylic work because some of the stuff got on there, and that doesn't dry very well on that. So I just went ahead and used a wipe to wipe that off. So you can see that I put some sprinkles on there. And then what I'm going to do here is grab that acrylic pen, and I'm making sure that it writes, you know, because sometimes you have to make sure that thing writes. It'll sit there and it kind of dries a little bit. So you have to make sure that you shake it up and press down on it, and there it goes, it's writing. So I just end up putting little asterisk stars around the layout and everything, and just to make it look more decorative. So that is about it, you guys. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this layout. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them at the bottom, and I will answer them as soon as possible. And once again, thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful scrappy week. Take care, guys. Be safe out there and have a great one. Bye bye.